Political leaders who attend in Jordan the call for the Action Urgent Humanitarian Response for Gaza conference call on Israel to ceasefire in the occupied territories. On Monday in the United States, the 12 members jury found Hunter Biden guilty of 3 federal gun possession charges, the first criminal conviction against the son of a sitting president. The revolutionary forces in Venezuela rallied to follow up on what they have called the one-time stand electoral strategy and to express their support to President Nicolás Maduro. Hello, welcome to From the South. I'm Ana Marrero from the teleSUR headquarters in Caracas, Venezuela. We'll be with the news. Stay with us. Political leaders who attend in Jordan the call for Action Urgent Humanitarian Response for Gaza conference call on Israel to ceasefire in the occupied territories. During the meeting, the United Nations Humanitarian Coordinator Martin Griffin described the Israeli attack on Gaza as a disgrace to humanity and as to raise $2.5 billion to meet the need of the people in Gaza.
There's a need for a robust mechanism for coordination that engages all parties on the ground. Effective and comprehensive deconfliction between the actors on the ground is key to ensure aid agencies can act, organize, and perform their duties safely, sufficiently, and sustainably. Second, the land corridor is the most effective method for aid to flow into Gaza. International resources are critically needed to undertake this urgent endeavor. We must be ready now to deploy a sufficient number of trucks to deliver aid on a daily basis. Hundreds of trucks are needed within Gaza.
During the summit, the President of Egypt, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, warned that the current crisis in the Gaza Strip is caused by Israel's wars of revenge against the Gazan civilian.
Responsibility for the unprecedented humanitarian crisis that the Gaza Strip is experiencing lies squarely with the Israeli side, and it is the deliberate product of a destructive war of revenge against the Gaza Strip, its people, its infrastructure, and its medical system, in which the weapons of starvation and siege are used to make the Gaza Strip unlivable and forcibly displace its population from their lands without the slightest doubt, concern or respect for international conventions.
Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas noted that the UN Security Council and the international community continue to pressure Israel to open all land crossing to Gaza.
The responsibility of the Security Council and all parties of the international community remains great in pressuring Israel to open all land crossings to the Gaza Strip and hand them over to the new government. To bring in all relief and medical materials, shelter supplies and equipment, and basic services. Above all, and before all of that, we must continue to make efforts for an immediate and permanent ceasefire and the withdrawal of all Israeli forces from the Gaza Strip.
In his speech, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres urged the leaders participating in the summit to respect the establishment agreements, which includes facilitating the delivery of humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip.
The peace initiative recently outlined by President Biden and urge all parties to seize this opportunity and come to an agreement. And I call on all parties to respect their obligations and their international humanitarian law. This includes facilitating the delivery of humanitarian aid both into and inside Gaza, as they have committed. All available routes into Gaza must be operational, and the land routes are absolutely crucial.
And in the framework of the Emergency Aid Conference in Jordan, the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced that his government will increase the amount of economic aid to Palestine.
Today, I'm announcing an additional $404 million in new aid to Palestinians, in addition to the more than $1.8 billion in development, economic, and humanitarian aid that the United States has provided since 2021.
Also in Palestine, human rights organizations denounced the high rate in which Israel is murdering Palestinians since October 7 out loud against the Gaza Strip. According to data gathered by the organizations, the Zionist regime killing rate has ascended to 2,000 Palestinians per month. Especially 3,163 Palestinians were killed in February, 2,790 in March, 1,788 in April, and 1,780 in May. Furthermore, in the period from June 4th to the 9th in this year, 605 murders were recorded, with the highest number of deaths being reported after the Nusrat Khan massacre, in which 283 people were killed and 816 injured. The concerning data evidence the ongoing genocide Israel is perpetrated against the Gazan people. Let's take a very short break, but remember, you can now join us on our TikTok account as teleSUR English, where you'll be able to see news in different formats, news updates, and more. Stay tuned for more news. Welcome back to From the South. On Monday in the United States, the 12-member jury found Hunter Biden guilty of 3 federal gun possession charges, the first criminal conviction against the son of a sitting president. President Joe Biden's son was convicted in a Delaware court after nearly 3 hours of deliberations regarding the 3 felony counts that alleged him lied about his illicit drug use when obtaining a firearm in 2018, then illegally possessed it for 11 days. In the trial, which lasted for over a week, his crack addiction came to light, and at the closing arguments staged on Sunday, prosecutors argued that Hunter Biden's drug use began years before the gun acquisition and continued for months afterwards. On the other hand, in the state of New York, witnesses for the prosecution testified about a case of bribery accepted by Democratic Senator Bob Menendez. Jose Uribe, a New Jersey businessman, testified that in 2019 he spoke with the senator about an investigation that was threatening his business. According to Uribe, after this conversation, the senator assured that he had saved him. And moving on, in Russia, within the framework of the BRICS Foreign Ministers meeting, the Russian Foreign Affairs Minister Sergei Lavrov stated that the group is promoting changes in the international scene for the construction of a multipolar world. Lavrov described BRICS approaches as a historical process for promoting equality to build a more just future. He also stated that the principles of egalitarian and cooperation have also been reflected and materialized in other organizations and forums of the world in which work is being done for global economic recovery after the COVID-19 pandemic and to fulfill objectives based on sustainable development. And now in Malawi was confirmed the death of Vice President Saulo Chilima and 9 other people after the military plane carrying them crashed at Msusu International Airport in the north of the country. After the search operation for the plane missing since Monday, the president of Malawi, Lazarus Chakwera, confirmed that the aircraft was found totally destroyed and with no survivors in the vicinity of the Chikawawa forest. In a message to the nation, the president expressed his condolences to the country, especially to the families of the victims, and mourned the losses of the officials, and called the event a terrible tragedy for the state. The local media state that it is presumed that the pilot was unable to land due to the bad weather conditions and fog in the area. Let's see some reactions of the citizens of Malawi after the death of Vice President Saulo Chilima and his companions.
In every nation, we always have leaders who are also like parents, not to one person, not to two, but to many communities too. So it is sad. It is sad. I know that it is written in the Word of God that there is time for everything, but I would say it is really a sad moment for us, and it is my prayer that God will see us through at such a time.
As a UTM party, we're able to trace all the flight which were landing in Malawi, but also taking off from Malawi. But we are now scared. Why not this one? We are failing to trace it. And Chikangawa is known by everybody, and even those who are supposed to be there, they know it. And they were supposed to trace all those. So as a party, we are looking forward to see to it that the transponder, which was supposed to be in this plane, where is it? Why is it that we are failing to trace it?
In this context, several world leaders have sent their condolences to the people of Malawi and to the families of the victims. The President of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki Mahamat, in a communique expressed his sadness at the news that the search and rescue mission for survivors of the plane crash was unsuccessful, and expressed his sincere condolences to the families of the victims as well as to the government and the people of that African nation. Likewise, the President of Angola, João Lourenço, sent his condolences to the President of Malawi on the death of Vice President Saulo Chilima. For his part, the Foreign Minister of Venezuela, Ivan Gil, sent his most sincere condolences to the government of Malawi for the tragic plane crash. The cause of the accidents are still unknown. The South Korean army accuses North Korea soldiers of violating a borderline between the two territories. According to South Korean authorities, on Tuesday, some North Korean troops working in the demilitarized zone crossed the military demographic line. Reports said the South Korean forces fired warning shots at the North Korean military, who turned to the north. Let's take our last break, but before we invite you to join us on our WhatsApp community for our English-speaking audience. You can scan the QR code on the screen to join directly and share the link to reach more people. Continue coverage of Latin America and the Caribbean as well as the rest of the world. Stay connected and informed with teleSUR. My financial break, don't go away. Welcome back. The revolutionary forces in Venezuela rallied to follow up on what they have called the 1x10 electoral strategy and to express their support to President Nicolás Maduro. Hundreds of people in the municipality of Santiago Mariño of the state of Nicaragua took to the streets to support President Nicolás Maduro and his initiative for his next presidential term. During the event, the coordinator of the organization of 1x10x7 electoral machinery, Pedro Infante, called that the Venezuelan president has always been together with the people of in the face of the blockades and sanctions.
Today, Venezuela is the country in the region with the highest economic growth, sustained during the last 11 quarters. That's a fact. Nicolás faced the dollar today. You remember dollar today. Well, today, the Bolivar-dollar relation is controlled thanks to President Nicolás Maduro, who absolutely holds today the reins of the economy.
On the other hand, hymns, applauses, and drums, the state of La Guaira received the president of the National Assembly, Jorge Rodriguez, who visited the municipality of Vargas to participate in the Great Assembly of the 1x10x7 that took place in the state. The assembly was attended by the governor of the state, José Alejandro Terán, and the mayor of La Guaira, José Manuel Suárez, as well as the participation of different social movements.
In spite of the fact that again and again you have stopped them, you have defeated them, they insist on provoking us. They insist on their lies. They insist on their surrender, because the main characteristic they have is that they kneel down to those gringos, bastards. That is the first characteristic. There is no way for them, not even to cross a street, or answer a good morning, or make a proposal to anyone, if they do not first ask their owners, and their owners are the government of the United States of America. You want to hand over the Venezuelan homeland to those bastards?
Also in Venezuela, the President Nicolás Maduro reaffirmed that he's ready for signing an agreement with the electoral authorities to recognize, along with the rest of the candidates, the results of the presidential elections.
I am ready for signing an agreement before the electoral power so that all candidates recognize the bulletin that the National Electoral Council is going to read on election day. I am ready. I am ready because I believe in the electoral system. Because I believe in Venezuelan democracy. Because I believe in the people. Because I believe in deep and true democracy. I'm ready as always. Who has been the promoter of dialogue in this country, in the face of coups d'etat? Invasion attempts on my life so many times. They are present. The far right wing hates, the haters, those who asked for invasion, and I have always had only one formula that I learned from Commander Chavez: dialogue, understanding, and respect for the Constitution.
Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador assured that the judiciary reform is necessary to stop the corruption that exists within it. During his daily morning conference, López Obrador warned that the judiciary has been hijacked by organized crimes, influence, pendling, and fraud. The Mexican president said the pro-government majority Congress to be installed in September should promote that reform, and reiterated that judges, magistrates, and ministers should be elected by popular vote to guarantee an athletic rule of law.
I am very happy. And besides, it was a very good election. Very good. The country is going to do very well. Much better than now, because the foundations have already been laid. That is why this issue about the judicial power, because if we have made progress, for example, we have made progress in making those who didn't pay taxes pay. We have made progress in not allowing corruption. We have made progress in directing the budget to help the people. We have made progress in making sure that the support reaches the people directly.
We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find these and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net. You can also join us on our socials. We're on Facebook, on X, and on Instagram as well. For Telesur English and from the South, I'm Ana Marrero. Thank you for watching.